Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, Main Lube Lubricants, and your local Repco store. G'day, I'm Fletch, and this is Classic Restos. It's the classic car show that showcases vehicles from yesteryear. These are the lucky ones. These vehicles have survived. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Australia's most favourite classic car show, Classic Restos. G'day and welcome to another fab episode of Classic Restos. Of course, not possible without the continued support of Shannons Insurance, Main Lube Lubricants, and your local Repco stores around Australia and New Zealand. Shannons Insurance, they have just so much to offer you. In fact, Shannons Insurance leave other insurance companies standing still. Have you seen the Shannons website? Shannons show an interest in what we stand for. Give them a call on 134646 or check them out at shannons.com.au. And don't forget the Shannons Club, where you can sign up, become a member and chat with fellow enthusiasts just like us. Main Lube Lubricants. You know, you've got no idea how much pressure your parts are under in your engine, transmission, gearbox and diff. You need an oil that keeps its viscosity under all conditions. How good is your current oil? Well, send away a sample and find out. You can email an engineer via mainlube.com.au, or if you want to pick up the phone for a chat, you'll be made welcome as well. Find out how they can offer you a lubricant best suited to the wear of your mechanical component. You'll receive a full analysis report with pictures on exactly how good your current oil is protecting your device. Main Lube oil has qualities far beyond a lot of standard oils. High standard demands such as the mining industry through to offshore powerboat races can't be wrong. Find out more information at mainlube.com.au. And isn't it nice to have such an iconic major sponsor on board such as Repco? They have experience serving trade customers and retail customers just like us. Check them out at repco.com.au or repco.co.nz, one of the most experienced places to purchase parts on the planet. It's a comprehensive website where every Repco advantage can be found. There are millions of dollars worth of stock, and if they haven't got it, they'll get it. It's just nice that the person behind the counter understands what you're after. After all, that's why a lot of mechanics in the trade choose Repco. What an auto store ought to be. And you can find out all the major sponsors' links at classicrestos.com.au. On today's show, what a beauty. I have travelled to Bowral in the beautiful southern highlands of New South Wales, Australia for the Berrima Rally Show Shine. This is nice. If you've got short arms and deep pockets, well, you're not welcome here. Everyone that walks through the gate contributes a gold coin donation to the wonderful people at the RFS. Now, if you're watching Classic Restos from outside Australia, RFS stands for the Rural Fire Service. Their work is tireless and thousands of people would be in trouble without them. Today's event comprises a gathering of great people in a beautiful location, and if it's got a crankshaft, piston or a camshaft, it's welcome here. And if it blows a little smoke, even better. How good is this event, the Berrima Rally Show Shine? First cab off the rank, we've got Peter. How are you, Peter?
Very good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. What a gorgeous car. This is a 1936 Singer. There's not many of these kicking around.
No, they're fairly rare now. 3 in Australia of this model, and not in the UK anymore. So it's they're very collectible now.
Peter, its lines are gorgeous. Beautiful car.
Yeah, well, that's what attracted me to it. I was looking for an open car, and I saw this in a yard in Canberra. It was a total wreck, but I could see the potential there, you know. And 16 years later, you know, I got it all in one piece. You know, it wasn't an overnight success, but it was really worth the effort, you know.
I've got to say, I do love the British racing green, contrasted there by the white. Splendid interior. I mean, it's very, very deserving to the car.
Yeah, it took me 3 weeks to decide on the British racing green because there's 60 different British racing greens, Fletch, yeah. and some are apple, some are black, but this was perfect. Yeah. The show car in Earls Court 36 had this colour scheme, so I thought I'll pinch that. That was a sedan, this is a roadster. Perfect.
How many years in the bill, Peter?
Well, probably 18 years all up to get it to this stage from a total wreck, you know.
End up divorced?
When I brought it home, yeah, that was a threat. Definite threat when I brought it home. Dorothy was a little peeved, I must admit. But I think she's happy now.
Yeah, he thinks she's happy now.
Oh, she's over there,
Any guy that can go through restoring a car, that and moving house. I reckon if you can go through both of those exercises and come out the other side, you're doing half okay.
Doing both, so that's excellent. Doing both, we've survived.
Good on you. Peter, pleasure having you on the show. Thanks very much, mate.
Thanks, Fletch. Here we go with the stereo to match the car.
Have a go at this 1954 Ford. Look at the engine pipes. Look how low they are. It'd burn everything it hit. The Fox would get burnt. It'd put GT stripes down the Wombat. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Fletch, how are you, mate?
Great self.
Good, thank you.
That's the way. Got to compliment you on your beautiful teardrop van here, parked up behind the Morrie.
Yes, we've had this for about 3 years. We bought it with the Morrie in Adelaide.
Wow. How does the Morrie go at pulling it?
No problems whatsoever. Yeah. It doesn't know it's there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's a good little thing to drive and muck around with.
I love period correct stuff, you know, like, I mean, the van, period to the era of the car. It's just so nice, and in this case, so well done. So just really quickly, I guess, with the Morris, first of all, what have you done to this particular car, Rick?
This car is how we bought it. I think we put new carpet through it. That's about it, Fletch. Yeah.
Right, okay, well, that's the quickest restoration I've ever heard of. Now let's talk about the caravan. What's the go there?
Well, it just came along with the car. Yeah. My wife bought it on eBay.
So you restos like this, you don't need any tools. Everything comes complete.
That's if you look after them. If you don't look after them, mate, you need lots of tools.
Do you actually sleep in the van?
We have done a couple of times. Yeah. The only problem with it is the air conditioning isn't very good.
It's a bit of fun too, I'd imagine. I mean, it's only small, though. I mean, you'd have to go outside to make your mind up, wouldn't you?
Just about.
See, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun with our products, especially in a case like this. You can sleep in the back and being towed around by the Morris, and it's in beautiful condition too. I mean, it's got a spotless interior. It's a flawless car. I mean, it's very, very nice job, Rick.
Yeah, we were very lucky with it. We bought it in Adelaide, and it had never been registered in England. Yep. So it comes straight to Australia, and it's rust-free, not like the English ones.
Rick, thanks so much for chatting and preserving what you've got here. Really something very, very special. Station wagon and a teardrop van. Well done.
Thanks, Fletch. It's good to catch up with you, mate.
Don't forget, Classic Restos is not made possible without the continued support of Shannons Insurance, Main Lube Lubricants and Repco. Welcome back. Time for Kevin now. How are you, Kevin?
Good, Fletch.
It's great to see you here, mate.
Thank you. Yeah, been a great day so far, and yeah, we're really in for a big day here.
Absolutely, and might I say too, hats off, because I know that you've played an integral part of bringing this all together. Good on you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, I spoke to you quite some time ago. You're in the process of getting a car over from America. Here it is, 1965 Falcon. This is beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, Fletch. Yeah, it took a lot of getting. We waited for 8 months with it sitting on the docks over there with a lot of worried, wondering what you're actually going to get when it lobs in Australia, but we were highly surprised. Yeah.
That's awesome. Kevin, I love the swage lines down the side of these Falcons. It's one of the, I guess, the coved feature of the panel work that really stands out. Such a beautifully detailed car, aren't they?
It is. Yeah, different lines. You can see that it's a Falcon.
They look so good for traditionally a base model car.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Where do you get something like this here in Australia? You know, we've got the Australian models, but I just wanted something different.
Yeah. They put it. The Americans put a little bit of extra effort in, didn't they? Like with those swage lines, and of course the tradition of Ford too with the round tail lights. They were really on their own with their round tail lights. Ford were just like big stove hot plates, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, there's not too many of Falcons here in Australia. That's sort of one thing that the Jim Richards race boy, like in talking to Jim and that and everything, and I thought, geez, I'd like one of them, and that sort of led me along those lines.
I caught up with Jim outside the Shannons Super Rig at the Southo Cops and Rodders late last year, and lovely bloke Jim, he'd love this Falcon.
Oh, he wanted to see it at the last All Ford Day.
And Kevin, a factory 289, what a score.
Yeah, the first of the 289s. They all originally had the 260s in them, the 65s and that, but this was the upmarket 289.
C4 transmission?
Yep. Yeah, C4, changes beautiful, just drives the dream.
Good on you, Kevin. I'll let you get back around, mate, and you're all plumb tuckered out. You're only halfway through the day. It's been big for you, hasn't it?
Got a big day, yeah. Thanks, Fletch.
Thanks, Kevin.
For having me, and enjoy your program.
Moving through, how cool is this? 1964 EH Holden Ute. How are you, Fred?
Good, thanks, Fletch. Yeah, it's good to be here. Been a beautiful day for it.
It has. Now tell us about your ute. How long have you had it?
I've had it 7 years, 4 years restoring and 3 years on the road.
What was it like when you got it?
Scruffy, yeah, scruffy. A lot of hours restoring it, yes, with modifications. Yeah, big. It was a pretty fair job sort of a thing, yes.
Had it been knocked around? Had it had a pretty hard life as a ute?
The body itself was quite good considering. It was rust-free, a bit hard to believe, but it was rust-free. A lot of dents in it. The front of the car was sort of very scruffy, the panel stuff. I did have other panels and doors and things like that to put on it. Yes, it was a pretty big job.
Mate, you've gone the best of both worlds here. Not only have you got an iconic shape Holden, you've gone a bit of high-tech up front with the 3.8 litre V6. Now, much of a job doing that?
It is a bit of a job too. We decided to do that for modern technology sort of thing, type of thing, and it was a bit of a job.
So it must go all right.
It does go good with four-wheel disc brakes. It stops good too. Yeah. Rack and pinion steering steers quite good. Yep. They were a bit scruffy, the EHs and steering boxes. So yeah, it goes good.
Mate, when you were a young bloke as a teenager, did you always have a soft spot for the EH?
Yes, I did. I had first EH I had. I was probably late teen sort of thing. Yes, and yeah, very good. I like the car. I like the style of them. Yeah. And I sort of, as time has gone on, I still like them, Yeah. I do own 2 utes and a sedan, so I must like them.
I love a nice interior, and this is beautiful too. That looks just so comfortable in there.
It is very, very comfortable. They're out of a Mazda 626 coupe, very, very comfy seats. They're a nice size seat for a cab. It's only a small cab, but they are a nice size for it, yeah.
It's amazing, you say they're only a small cab, but back in the day, 6 or 7 blokes coming home from the pub, they all seemed to squeeze in there, didn't they?
All fitted in.
Fred, thanks so much for your time, mate.
Thanks, Fletch. Very good. Thank you.
Getting a bit dark, bit of weather closing in, and Chris?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks, mate.
On these closing moments, what a big day.
Beautiful day.
And you know what makes a beautiful day? Cars turning up like this. 1955 Oldsmobile 88. Have a go at this. What a beautiful car. How long have you had it?
About 4 years.
Yeah. Of course. You have been on Classic Restos once before, right?
My wife has been, yes. Okay. Same car.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. All the pieces are coming back to me. Now, you've had a couple of additions put on since then. What are those, Chris?
The vintage air cooler on the side of the car and the Continental kit at the back. My wife's a big fan of Continental kits, so we thought she really wanted one. So we bought one from the States, had it shipped in, painted, and stuck it in the garage and fitted it.
Does that cooler on the window, does it actually work, or is it just a whole heap of humid air being blasted at you?
No, it does work. I got my son to sit in the back and we filled it up with water, and it actually does work. He did say the air was cool. It's like an evaporative. It works like an evaporative cooler, and it's quite a groovy piece.
It must look like some sort of, to some people, they must think it's like some retro rocket attached to the side of your car or something.
Bazooka or radar, some big fancy big radar system of the day or something. Yeah, it's just like, it gives it a bit of 50s nostalgia.
What amazes me, the amount of embellishments on this car. What manufacturer puts a picture of the world, or North and South America at least, as part of their emblem? I mean,
when we saw the car, we thought, you know what, you don't see these sort of cars here in the country, and I don't know, just Oldsmobile, people just don't even understand much about Oldsmobile, but in the day, they were a very classy car, and the things on them, all the badges, the emblems, it's just, people just stop and just go, wow, it's just...
Interior, Chris, we move on through, splendid as well. I mean, you know, how eloquent is this car? I mean, you must just feel like $1 million driving this.
Yeah, I tell you what, this thing drives so nice. I just can't believe cars in 55 drove this nice. Power steering, power brakes. It just steers beautifully, drives beautifully. I mean, we basically bought the car the way you see it, with the interior, the paint, everything the way you see it. We bought the car like that, just the little additions along the way. It's such a pleasure to drive. You know, we've taken it to Canberra, you know, down to the entrance, to car shows, Chrome Fest, places like that. Just a pleasure to drive. Absolute pleasure.
Good on you, Chris. Well, thanks for getting me in the headlock back here this afternoon, Barrel, to come back onto the show. It's lovely to see the big girl back, mate. Nice to see you too. Good on you.
Thank you very much, Fletch.
You're watching the Berrima Rally Show and Shine, and you're watching it first on Classic Restos. What a way to round off the day. The Berrima Rally Show and Shine here in Barrel, New South Wales, Australia. Robert, how are you, buddy?
I'm very good, Fletch. Thanks very much. How are you?
Good, mate. I just had to pick on you, the last vehicle here today, 1964 Peterbilt. Have a go at this in all its glory, mate. Beautiful truck.
Oh, thank you very much, Fletch. I enjoy driving it. I've enjoyed restoring it, and I do a lot of rallies. And, yeah, it's a great truck. Served me very well. Very happy. Yeah, I'm a lucky man.
I mean, you know, let's face it, they're a workhorse, but they've just got so much class. They're a beautiful thing. I think the colour red, showcased with the polished stuff up front, and just the history too. Such an iconic vehicle too. Now, you've had it 15 years, haven't you?
I've had it 15 years, and originally it was fully registered, and I worked it occasionally, but it wasn't, you know, 250 Cummins with no power steering and whatever. It was a hard work. I put it off the road, put it on club plates, and just as a hobby, and it's a work in progress. I'm always working on it and upgrading things and making sure it's working properly. So,
but isn't that great? It's hobby as well.
Yeah, it's hobby, yeah, and I don't get sick of driving it. I mean, I don't get paid to drive it. It costs me, I've got to pay for the fuel, but I love driving it. Yeah, I'm happy.
Mate, 1964, back in the era too, up there with the B61 Max. I mean, this was an era where if you drove a brand new truck, you were doing exceptionally well for yourself.
Well, I think with the Peterbilt, I think what killed it, it was so expensive and too big too. I mean, the other trucks on the road there were Dodgers and a few English trucks, Fodens and whatever. So I don't think they could afford to, you know, buy it for starters, and it was far too big. So, but if you had that and you were driving up there past all those guys in their pommy trucks, you would have been king of the road for sure.
I mean, look, you know, it's not a small truck now. I mean, I know the modern day trucks are huge, but even when you stand in front of this old girl, it's not small by any means.
No, it's not small, but in this day and age going up the freeway, the trucks pass me that quick that I can't even see what sort of truck it is, and I'm pedalling as hard as I can. So, yeah, times definitely have changed. And I'm empty and they're 64 tonne. They go past me like a blur. So.
Now, Robert, story with you. You've travelled around 9-10 hours north. You're from Melbourne, right?
Yeah, I'm from Melbourne, yeah. I just thought I'd come up for the day and have a look at it.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. We drive interstate for a cup of coffee, do a U-bolt and go back home. That's what we do.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, well, I get to meet a lot of nice people, see a lot of nice cars and trucks and that. Yeah. Get to talk to you too, Fletch, you know. So.
That's awesome. Now, look, you stand for some good things yourself. Convoy for Kids. I mean, you do rallies. I mean, that's what I love about the fraternity. You know, the guys with their trucks. You guys, you're just awesome. You really are.
Well, we love to share it. You know, it's not just for me. And like, we have the kids come and get inside it and have a look around, and adults too. So, yeah, that's part of the joy of owning the truck too, to share it with the other people. Yeah, so I'm a lucky man.
Good on you, Robert. Thanks for being on today's show, mate.
No worries, Fletch. Thanks very much for having me.
That's right. Just look after this big girl. She was, tell you what, she's a classic and a half. Good on you, mate.
Mate, thank you. Thanks, Fletch.
Time for something now on Classic Restos. Some very interesting information for you from one of my major sponsors. We all think we may know how important oil quality is for our engines and our drivelines, but do we really know? You're about to see some very interesting information from Main Lube Lubricants. I have given an oil sample from my trusty Fairlane to one of my major sponsors. This engine is totally original and has travelled 526,000 kilometres at time of filming. Now, this engine oil is about to undergo the very same test that your engine, transmission, gearbox or diff can receive. Time now to go inside and let's see how this old engine is wearing on the inside.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up 100 mils of oil from our sample, and I'm going to force it through that 3 micron filter and catch any debris that's been left in the oil. Here's my syringe, and I'm only going to draw up 1 mil out of this sample. Okay, now I'm mixing or diluting the 100 mils that I've just taken out of the sample, or a solvent. Okay, what the solvent does is it breaks the back of the oil now, and we're actually purposely destroying the oil. Okay, now these syringes can put upwards of 140 psi of pressure, so there's no shortage of pressure here. And as you can see, the oil will flow through the 3 micron gaps on the filter, and the debris will not, so the debris will be caught. Once we've done that, we discard the original syringe. We're then going to grab our flushing solution again. And what this is doing is, like I explained before, this is cleaning all the metal now and getting the oil so that when we put it underneath the microscope, we don't get reflection. Carefully undo our filter. Okay. Now I have to mount it to the slide so it doesn't blow away, and I need to dissolve the actual filter so that I can see through it. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll let that dry, and we're going to have a good look at what Fletcher's car's done after 526,000 kilometres of use and 10,000 kilometres on the oil. And 18 years of use on an original V8 engine. Okay, what we've found is we've found a hell of a lot of organic debris in the oil, okay, and a lot of metallo oxide contaminants. We've found cutting wear. Okay, we've found 2-body fatigue wear, we've found 3-body fatigue wear, we've found sliding wear, all within this engine. Okay, so what does this mean to you? All right, this basically means that we have to start addressing these wear metals. Okay, now for an engine that's done so many kilometres, okay, this is not abnormal. We're talking about a car that's 18 years old, okay, and still running as a daily driver. Okay, this hasn't been running any fancy oils neither. This is just daily, regularly serviced car. To address these wear metals, there's a couple of things we've got to do. One is you've got to start flushing the engine, okay? And that is obvious. Flushing will remove all the contamination that you're leaving in there in between each oil change. From this sample, we can tell where the metal's been removed from, whether it be a bearing, whether it be cam wear, whether it be piston wear, a crank pin, okay? We can isolate that wear and give that information back to you, all right? And this will better allow us to apply a better lubricant.
So it doesn't matter what you drive. If it's got a crankshaft, conrods, piston, camshaft, it takes oil, this is the stuff that we need to know. Go to classicrestos.com.au, click on the logo to be directed to their website for more information. With me now I have organiser Bill Flegg. Now Bill's the president of the Berrima District Historic Vehicle Club. How are you, mate?
Towards the end of the day. A little pooped, shall we say, Fletch, a little poop, but listen, well worthwhile.
This is so stereotyped. Every time I interview an organiser, at the end of the day, they're always the same. A monstrous amount of work, mate. But look, take my hat off to you. You've done exceptional here today.
Look, I'm only part of this outfit. We've got a tremendous working committee here. Ladies that work so hard, God bless them. And look, I love every one of them. We are so happy with that. Look, I'm knackered from having such a bloody good time.
Good on you, Bill. Thank you very much, mate, and see you back here next year.
Thanks, Fletch. But I hope I'm getting younger, not older.
What an amazing day. 700 people alone just went through the Shannons Super Rig. I hope you've enjoyed just some of the Berrima Rally Show and Shine here in Bowral, New South Wales, Australia, on this week's episode of Classic Restos. Now, classicrestos.com.au, that's the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets, Classic Restos t-shirts, caps, finding out how to travel Route 66, and of course information on major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, until next week, no matter where you're watching from, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like Classic Restos on Facebook. Facebook.com/Classic Restos TV. And episodes can be seen at shannons.com.au. Well, there goes another Classic Restos. Thanks for riding along with me. For DVD sets and to contact the major sponsors, go to classicrestos.com.au. For the best in classic vehicle and home... Classic Restos, proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, Main Lube Lubricants, and your local Repco store.